Some of the best UFO photos are the ones taken before, in my opinion, the early 2000s, especially the ones that are in black and white from the early 40s, 50s, and 60s. In tonight's video, we're going to look at several pictures from that time era. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So you know that a lot of the photos from UFOs taken in the past, especially these black and white ones, are going to be some of the best photos, in my opinion, out there. And tonight we're going to show some of those. So for a lot of these, I do have some locations and dates where I don't have the exact date for many of them, but I at least have a year. As you guys see, this was in 1969. We've seen these ring type objects in the sky before, but I've never seen one in 69, especially in a black and white one. So it shows you that that anomaly has been around for quite a while. This next one, of course, is in Kentucky. Now, some of these, as I zoom in, they're going to get a little blurry and distorted because they are photos and they are scanned in. And then I'll do a little enhancement. Like here, I just try to lighten and darken it up so you can see the craft. Now, this next one's interesting. It says these photos were taken. I'm just going to summarize this. This guy was basically a barber, and he took 2 photos of UFOs. But I want you guys to pay close attention to that Volkswagen because in the photos that he's taken, it is in different locations. But he said he was outside, and he basically hung these up to kind of attract more people to his shop. So here's going to be one of the first photos. You guys see the Volkswagen there. And from what I recall in this article, it was stating that this was taken in the same day, but that Volkswagen did kind of move, and you guys see a truck there now. So if you guys have heard anything about this, put this down below in the description. It's just an article that I had clipped out and went ahead and scanned it and wanted to show it to you all. This next one, we hardly find that many from Japan. I've showed some before, but it looks like this one was taken more or less at an angle, and you're kind of seeing the underside of it. It does look kind of like the McMinnville UFO, where it's kind of got a flat bottom and round top. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see, but this next one's from an unknown location, and I got a lot more unknown locations coming at the end of this video, so stay tuned because I don't know the locations nor the dates. But you clearly see somewhat of a craft behind that old building there. This next one comes from Russia. This is in 1995. When you zoom in on this just a little bit, you can see a little bit more detail in this craft. And here's going to be another. This is from 1958. You guys can tell that this is a photo that I scanned in, and a lot of these are going to be like that. So you got to bear with me with this. This is the best I could do to show this to you guys. But this one here was 2 photos that were taken, and you guys see the craft up close with this. When you zoom in, you can see it a little bit better, but not too much. You can kind of see the underside of it there. Now this one's one I showed before. I think one of the viewers wanted to see this photo again, so here it is again for you guys to see this one. This was taken in 1929. And I believe this is one of the oldest UFO photos that I have in my archive. I think I may have one from 1921, but it also may be 1929 as well. Now, these next set of photos, there's several of them. I don't have a location or anything on them. So, like I said in the beginning, bear with me on this, but these are going to be what I consider to be more legit photos than what we see today because they are photographs and they have been scanned in to show them to you guys. Here's apparently a UFO. I don't even know what city and town is. I tried to search on the bridge and stuff, but it's kind of hard to tell based on, of course, the date and stuff of this, because the bridge could have been taken down. But there you guys clearly see a craft, and when you zoom in, you can always see a little bit more detail into this. Now this next one looks like it may have been over a field at some point in time. I'm not sure where. But of course we see that kind of same shape with the flat bottom, a round on top, and then a little dome that seems to be on top of this as well. All right, this next one, it seems like someone may have been high up to take this photo because it's definitely over a beach somewhere, and it does look to be dated probably between the 30s and 40s is my guess. But for someone to take this photo, I'm assuming they were probably in an airplane because it looks like they're kind of level with this craft. This next one's pretty old too. This is the one that may be dated 1921 or so because of just the structure of the house and then also the quality of the photo too. You guys can see that craft there over the house. And it's funny how when we start looking at a lot of these old photos, these craft are always tilting at an angle in some way, form, or fashion. So Bob Lazar could be right on a lot of this stuff. Of course, the craft isn't flying in one of its modes, but I think he said it was in Delta mode that it kind of tilts up on its side completely, and that's kind of how it flies. But I'll get into that into another video when Bob Lazar talks about how these craft operate and fly. And when I enhance this just a little bit, you can make out a shape. A lot of these craft do look like the McMinnville craft and some stuff that people had saw back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And here's going to be another one. If you guys can make out what that tower or building is in the back, that would help me to at least backtrack this photo to get a better known location for it. But there it is. Of course, once you zoom in, same thing you've seen in a lot of the other photos. And of course, when you do a little bit of enhancing, it kind of brings the shape of the craft out just a little bit more. There's going to be another one. Of course, this was taken in the mountain area. Like I said, if you guys are familiar with this, let me know. It'd be kind of hard to determine this, of course, but and then of course, zooming in. Regardless, these are some great captures in my opinion. A little bit harder to fake this stuff back then. And here's going to be one of our last ones. So of course, this photo was enhanced with the craft just so you can see it. And when you zoom in, even though they've kind of tried to zoom in on this, you guys can see this here. Same shape as most of these other craft, flat bottom, round top. So these could be ARVs or alien reproduction vehicles, or they could actually be spacecraft too. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Some of these photos I've shown before, they're a little bit older, but I think they're still good to put these out here. And if you guys like videos like this, I still have a lot more photos I'm trying to get scanned in and get a digital copy that I can try to put out here to show to you all. So let me know in the comments what you think about this photos, this video, and everything else and what you want to see going in the future. As always, I appreciate you watching and stay tuned for the next video.